Hello, hello. Welcome back for another reformer video on Home Sweet Pilates. Today we are going to be doing an intermediate reformer workout. You will not need any props, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start on 3 springs here. If you're on a balanced body, do a red, red, blue. Otherwise, do whatever you feel is best on your reformer. We're going to start lying down on our backs here for a little bit of footwork. So if you want to have your head rest up a little bit, you can. It's totally up to you. Whatever feels comfortable. We're going to start with our feet hip distance apart with our heels on, hands down by our sides. Take a nice inhale here. I just want you to take inventory. Make sure your entire spine is evenly on the carriage. Take another nice breath. Exhale as you press into those heels and push the carriage out. Inhale as you bring it back in. So we're just going to be moving in and out here. Keeping your spine on that carriage as much as you can the entire time. We're relaxed in our shoulders. We're pushing evenly through those heels. I'm not gripping onto the carriage here. My belly is in my spine. We're already feeling our legs wake up. Another thing to think about here as well is taking inventory of your knees. Make sure as you press in and out, your knees are not knocking in or going out. Try to keep them in a nice straight line, in line with those ankles. Do one more here. Bring it on in. Now place those toes on the bar, still hip distance apart. We go out and in. Exhale out, inhale in. I'm sore from working out earlier this week, so this is already like hurting. So this should be fun. You know it's gonna be fun when in the first 2 minutes you're already hurting. Let's do 2 more here. Hold it out on the extension. Now take your heels, flex them underneath the bar for a tendon stretch. Bring them up, flex them under. Bring them up, flex them under. We're just getting a nice tendon stretch here. It actually should feel really good. Do 2 more like this, and then we'll bend to bring the carriage in. Bend the knees, bring the carriage in. Now bring those feet into a Pilates V, so our heels are together, our toes are on the bar. Repeat that. So we go out and in. Think about zipping up those thighs as you extend the carriage out. Really push those heels together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Especially on the extension, squeeze those heels. We have 2 more. Last one. And bring it in. Now we're gonna glue the toes, heels, knees, thighs, everything together. Wrap your toes around the bar like a bird on a perch. Keep everything glued. Press out and in. Hello, thighs. Keep those toes curled, keep them wrapped. You're squeezing that bar, your heels are glued, your ankles are glued, your knees are glued as best you can. Last 2 here. Last one. And bring it in. Now we're gonna bring those heels wide on the bar and do the same thing. We're going through all our footwork here, just getting a nice warm up. Our heart rate should be starting to elevate slightly. You should start to feel the tingling in your thighs. They're warming up. Last 2 here. Last one here. And bring it on in. We're going to change our spring, but we're going to do it in an active way. So bring your feet over the bar, hands up towards the ceiling. We're going to roll up in order to change that spring. So take a nice inhale. On your exhale, bring your chin towards your chest. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Roll yourself up to seated. Swing those legs around. Take off one spring. So if you're on a balanced body, I want you on a red. Otherwise, just be on 2 medium springs. We're going to lie ourselves back down in that active way that we got ourselves up in a roll down. So sitting nice and tall, legs are extended over the bar, arms straight out in front of you. Exhale as you round, curl into that core, but do not let your shoulders hunch up into your ears. Round, and lie yourself down. We're going to go into a little feet and straps here. So grab each strap, place your foot into the long loop, like so. Get yourself situated. I don't want you pushed up super hard up against these shoulder blocks. So you can be touching them, but just don't be like shoved up against them. Now we're going to start in that Pilates V. So our heels are together, our toes are turned out slightly. Take an inhale here, exhale as you lower to 45 degrees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. One thing I want you to pay attention to here is as you're lowering, see what happens if I lower too far? My back starts to arch, I start to hunch in my shoulders. This is doing nothing active for me. So make sure that as you're lowering, that spine, think about keeping that spine on the carriage the whole time. Your core is engaged here. I'm only lowered to 45 degrees, but this is doing so much more work for me than this. So going lower does not always necessarily mean it's better. I'd rather you keep your legs higher and have proper engagement here than lose that connection. So we're just going down and up, keeping those heels glued. Your ribs are knit in. One more here, then we're going to go on to those circles. So bring those legs back up. Again, neutral for me is a little bit farther in front. If I brought my legs all the way straight like this, my lower back starts to lift off the carriage, and I don't want that. So find neutral for you where your entire lower back is still on that carriage, okay? We're gonna go into those leg circles. So bring them out about the width of your reformer, lower down to 45 degrees, bring them together, lift up to neutral. Out, down, together, and up. Out, down, together, and up. A lot of times what a lot of people do here on feet and straps for leg circles in particular is they allow their legs to go super wide here, like so. And yeah, this feels really good. It's a really good stretch, but you're not working as much as you could be if you keep it narrower. So I want this to be active for us currently. We'll stretch later, but I want you to be working right now. So keep that circle narrow. Don't let it go too wide. Do one more, then we're going to switch directions. So now, bring those feet down together. Open with your reformer. Bring them up towards your head and back together. So we go down, out, up, together. Down, out, up, together. You should be feeling this in your legs by now. Those like upper inner thighs are for sure working. We have froggies after this, and then we're moving on. So do one more here. Bring those feet together. Heels are together, toes are turned out. Bend those knees in towards your chest Extend them out 45 degrees. Your heels are glued the entire time. So we bend, extend, bend, extend, bend, extend. Sorry if you can hear the wheels on my reformer. I have to replace one of the wheels this weekend. It's slightly janky. So if you hear it, that's why. Don't worry, it still works fine. It just makes a noise. So I'm gonna replace it so it's a little smoother. Exhale, inhale, 2 more here. Last one here. And bring it on in. Beautifully done. Take those straps, remove them from your feet, bring the carriage in gently. Nicely done. Hang up those straps. Once again, we're gonna roll up because we always wanna be active. Arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, roll yourself up. Keep the shoulders out of your ears. Bring yourself around. Now I want you to put all of your springs on, and we're going to go ahead and grab our box. So put all those springs on. Grab your box. Put it long ways. Put your headrest down if you have it up. And then I'm gonna grab a no slip grip thing. So, put my no slip grip thing on there, perfect. Your bar should be fine where it is. If you want to put it all the way down, you can, but it should be fine. So we're going to sit ourselves onto our box here. Sort of towards the center, but more towards the front. We're facing the back of the reformer. I'm just all kinds of squeaky today, aren't I? Okay, we're going to start by sitting up nice and tall. Your feet are together, resting on that headrest. Let's scooch our booty a little bit more forward. Here we go. Take a nice inhale. On your exhale, round through that spine. Curl that tailbone up. Rock yourself back, not all the way, only to about here, and then roll yourself up. So we're rolling back about halfway, and then back up. Back halfway, and up. So we're just really warming up these abdominals here. I'm keeping my shoulders out of my ears. My chest is nice and open, right? I'm not hunched forward like this. I'm nice and active. I'm tucking that tailbone under and then rolling it back up. Now, we're gonna add on here. So we're gonna do 2 half rollbacks, and then we're gonna roll all the way down, circle our arms around, and sit ourselves back up. So here we go. So we roll back halfway and sit up. Roll back halfway, sit up. Now, roll yourself all the way down. Roll, 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 roll. Circle the arms around and roll yourself back up. We're going to repeat that a couple more times. So we roll back 1, roll back 2, roll all the way, really curl through that belly. Curl, 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 curl. Roll, circle, bring yourself back up, and repeat. We're really getting those abdominals warmed up here. Roll it down. Circle, and bring it on up. If you need to adjust yourself, scoot your booty forward a little bit, that's totally fine. We have 2 more all the way through. Circle around. Bring yourself up. Last one here, and then we're going to go into our series of 5. You're doing a good job. Roll it down. Roll, 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 roll. Circle around and stay down. So stay here, stay seated down. Scoot your booty forward ever so slightly here. We're going to bring our legs up into tabletop. So you can hug your knees into your chest just for a second. We're going to go into single leg stretch. So bring your right hand to your right ankle, your left hand to your right knee. Extend your left leg forward. Your shoulders are still relaxed here. So here we're going to pull that right knee into our chest and then switch. So now our left knee's into our chest. And switch. And switch. 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 It's so squeaky. I'm gonna have to fix that. One more on each side. Then we're going into that double leg stretch. So hug your knees into your chest, hug, hug, hug. If you need to take a second to rest your neck, that's fine. I need a second, so let's take a second. Okay, curling up into that ball. Now you're going to extend both legs straight out in front of you as you extend your arms behind you. Inhale, exhale as you bring it back into that circle. Inhale, extend, exhale, circle. Inhale, exhale, 2 more. Last one. And circle it in. Go ahead and rest your head for a second. If you have that bar behind you, you can rest your head on that bar. It feels very nice, very nice. Okay. Now we are going to go into our single straight leg stretch. So similar to the single leg stretch, but now our legs are straight. Amazing how that works. Okay, so curl yourself up into that ball. Extend your left leg straight in front of you while your right leg comes up towards the ceiling. We're gonna pull that leg into our chest twice and switch. So pull, pull, switch. Pull, pull, switch. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Or do it the other way. Exhale, exhale, inhale as you switch. Play around with your breath sometimes. See what feels best for you. I'm doing one more each direction. Last one. And into that ball. Rest that head. Finally, not finally, we have 2 more. We're going to do the double straight leg lowers. So your hands are going to go behind your head. You're going to lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Now, I have had some ab separation from having babies, so I do not lower my legs as far as they could go, only because I want to be smart about what I'm doing. So listen to your body here. If you start to feel a pull as you lower these legs, do not go down as far, okay? You can have a slight bend in your knees if you need to, that's fine. I have really tight hamstrings, so it's hard for me to straighten my legs all the way. But we're going to lift our head, neck, and shoulders, have a nice wide open chest. Legs are up, we lower them down and lift them up. Lower down and lift. Lower and lift. 2 more. Last one. And in. Hug into that ball. Finally going into those bicycles. So bring those hands behind your head one last time. Shoulders are nice and wide. Elbows are nice and wide as well. Bring that left shoulder towards your right knee as you extend the left leg out and switch. And switch. And switch. So notice I said to bring your shoulder towards your knee, not your elbow towards your knee, because that's going to make you work harder. If you just did your elbow, it's not that hard, right? But if you try to get your shoulder, you have to actually crunch it up. Do 1 more each direction. And lower. Oh my goodness. Put your feet on the headrest. Go ahead and just lay for a second. That feels so good. Okay, now let's sit ourselves up. We're going to go ahead and take off all of the springs except for 1 blue spring. And then we'll put our bar down. We're going to be doing some long box pulling straps. So if you know that you like to have a heavier spring for that, go ahead and do whatever you like for it. Blue's typically a good place to start, but it depends. So I don't know why I took this off. Okay, but we're going to get here in an active way. So we're going to stand at the front of our reformer on the platform. Place your hands towards the top corners of your box. We're going to bring ourselves out over the box like so. Do 1 push-up and then bring it back in. So now we bring ourselves out and we do 2 push-ups. 1, 2, and bring ourselves in. Let's bring ourselves out once again. This time we're gonna do 3 push-ups and then lower ourselves all the way down. So 1, keep that belly button in. 2, 3, lower yourself all the way down. Grab the straps in front of you. Do not let the carriage fall back. Grab those straps in front of you. Grab higher up on the straps here. And hold yourself up. So now your entire torso is on this box. Your chest should be off of the box at this point. So you're a little bit forward on that box. Your hands are choked up here on the straps. Your hands are choked up here on the straps, and our back body is active. My head is in line with my spine. I'm looking down at the floor. I'm starting with my arms out in a wide V above my head. I'm going to pull them down and straight back to my hips and bring them back forward. Pull them down and straight back to the hips and forward. Do not forget about your back body here. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your collarbones are nice and wide and open. Exhale as you bring it back. Inhale as you bring it forward. Make sure your wrists are locked here. What I see a lot of people doing here is they take these straps and they bend their wrists like this and almost flick them back like so. That is not what we want. This is not the movement I want. I want you working from your shoulders and your back here. I don't want you working from your wrists, okay? So imagine that your wrists are in like a wrist brace and you're not able to bend them. Let's do 2 more. On this last one, hold it back, hold your hands back, bend at the elbows 90 degrees, and tricep pull back. Ooh. Same thing with those wrists, don't let them bend. You're looking at the ground. 2 more. Oh my goodness, last one. This is why we're on a blue, right? Okay, now bring those arms out wide. So bring them out to a T and you pull them to your hips. So go to shoulder height, T to your hips. 3 more. 2 more. Don't forget to use your breath. Last one here, I'm dying too. And bring it on in. Bring that carriage gently back, gently, gently, gently. Nicely done. Hang up those straps. Sit ourselves up, so take one leg off the reformer at a time. We're gonna sit ourselves back onto where we just were. We can stay on a blue here. If you want to change to a red, you can. I'm gonna try it on a blue and see how it goes, just for kind of ease of movement here. Kind of keep things moving along. So we're gonna be sitting right back where we were before when we did those roll downs. Go ahead and grab your straps. Take the short loops this time if you have them, use them. Scoot your booty forward ever so slightly on the box. We're gonna go up on our toes here on the headrest. Our hands are out in front of us slightly like so. We're gonna take a nice inhale. On our exhale, we're gonna roll ourselves down as we bicep curl and then roll yourself back up. So if you're on a heavier spring here, it's gonna be easier for you to roll up because that weight is gonna be pulling you forward. If you're on a lighter spring, it's gonna be a little bit harder. We're gonna add on after this one. Now, one leg at a time, take your right leg, bring it off of the headrest. Roll yourself down, bringing that leg into 90-degree tabletop. And now roll yourself forward, keeping that leg lifted. So roll it down, curl, 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 and bring it forward, rolling up. Good, now let's do the left leg. I think you know where I'm going with this, but if you don't, we're gonna do a variation of teaser in just a second. One more like this. So notice how I'm not bringing my hands like directly into my shoulders. I'm keeping them at this nice 90-degree angle for as long as I can. Okay, now we're gonna do both legs for a teaser. So let's roll ourselves down like so. Bring your legs into tabletop, 90 degrees like this. Bicep curl those hands. Now bring them forward as you sit yourself up into teaser. Balance and repeat. Roll down as you bicep curl and bring yourself up and forward. Woo-wee. Roll down, bicep curl. Bring yourself up and forward. You have one more. You can do one more. Roll it down. We've done a lot of core so far. You're doing awesome. Roll it up. Oh gosh, good job. Now hold it here, bicep curl for 4. If you're really light, it might be hard. It's okay. 3, 2, oh my gosh, 1, and sit yourself forward. Holy moly, that was really hard, but you did it. Awesome job. Now we're gonna move on to some kneeling side arms. So we're gonna take off this box, put it to the side. I'm pretty sure we're done with it. I'm gonna take these off because I don't need them anymore. No more squeaking. If you need a break, if you need a water break, go ahead and get one. All right, let's keep moving through. Okay, so we're going to bring ourselves kneeling here onto the carriage. We're going to be a little bit away from the shoulder blocks. Take that strap that is in the front part of your reformer, of your body, and grab it. So I'm going to go on a shorter strap. You can go on the longer loop if you want to. If you want to stay here seated with your booty on your hips, that's totally fine. If you want a little extra challenge, let's kneel ourselves up. So we're on one blue spring. Our hand is on our hip. Our outside hand is on our hip. And we're bringing our inside hand. Our elbow is about like rib-ish height here, okay? We're going to take this hand. We're just going to bring it across and back. So I'm not rotating my torso at all. I'm keeping myself totally square towards the front of the room. And I'm just dragging this hand across. My core is engaged in order to keep myself balanced. I'm looking straight ahead. I'm not allowing my arm to drop like this. My elbow is up high. If you have handles too, you can do a handle here. I just don't really want to take the extra step of putting it on. So now let's add that rotation. So we bring that arm across as we rotate and follow along back to center. So my lower body's not rotating, my torso is rotating. So you see my hips are still square towards the front of the room. Exhale, inhale, bring it back. 2 more. That blue spring is heavy when you're doing single arm work like this. Okay, now going into high fifth. So bring your outside hand up above your head. Your hand that's in the strap is also above your head. We're going to bring it up overhead like we're a ballerina and back down. Once again, my hips are square. Think about putting an even amount of weight into both of your knees. You can press into your shins as well to kind of make sure your weight is even. You're in between 2 panes of glass here, so you don't allow either hand to come in front or behind. We have 1 more here. And lower. Now, with that outside hand, grab the strap. We're doing some draw sword. So keep that palm in towards your opposite hip. So for me, I have the strap in my outside hand, which is my left hand. So my left palm is resting at my right hip. Okay? The palm is facing me. My other hand is on my hip. I have my mic pack here, so it's going to be a little low, but my other hand is on my hip. I'm going to draw my elbow up into a diagonal. Then I'm going to rotate my wrist forward and pull it across. I bring it back in the way that it came and lower. So here, palm is facing me, palm is facing me. Now palm is facing out. Palm is once again facing me and it lowers down. So inhale. My shoulder stays down and relaxed the whole time. So I inhale as I go in that diagonal, exhale as I reach, reach, reach. Inhale as I start to return, exhale as I bring it back to start. We have one more. In, rotate, in, return to start. Beautifully done. Let's hang up that strap. We're gonna go on to the other side, but first we're gonna do a little bit of work. So, because that's just what we do here. So we're gonna turn towards the back of our reformer. Our knees are going up against the shoulder blocks. We're placing our hands on the beams of the reformer here. I'm gonna curl my back so I'm in a nice round back position, like I'm doing a cat-cow here. I'm going to take my knees, only moving my lower body. So my upper body's not gonna move at all, only moving my lower body. I'm bringing my knees towards my hands and then returning them back to start. Bring the knees towards your hands and return back to start. You'll feel this in your lower abdominals. So exhale as you reach forward. The farther out your hands are, the more challenging it's gonna be, because the farther you're gonna have to bring that carriage. 2 more. Notice how I still have a curl, right? In my tailbone, oof, and in my back. Nicely done. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna turn that way because I have to. So you're gonna see my back, but it might be good for you to see what it looks like from behind, okay? So we're gonna do the same thing here that we just did. Grab that front strap, place it on your inside hand. Your outside hand can just be resting on your hip here. We're a little bit farther away from our shoulder blocks, so we're not directly up against it. The closer you are to the shoulder blocks, the less tension, the lighter the weight, okay? The farther away, the heavier the weight. So starting here, we're just going to do that reach across. So you'll see my torso is not moving at all. Two more, then we're gonna start adding that rotation. Now we're gonna rotate. So rotate in the direction your hand is pointing and return back. Rotate and return. Rotate and return. 2 more. Your shoulders should be super relaxed here. Don't let them hunch up. Last one. And back. Going into that high fifth, outside hand comes up overhead. Your inside hand also goes overhead. We bring it over like a ballerina and back to the starting position. Exhale as you bring it in, inhale as you release. Remember, really try to make sure you're evenly pressing in both of your legs. It can be natural to want to kind of lean one direction to counterbalance. Try to push those shins into the carriage. Ooh, this one really gets me. Okay, we got one more. And lower it down. Beautifully done. Going on to that draw sword. Place your inside hand on your hip. Your hand that's holding the strap is now that outside arm, and it's on that opposite hip, okay? Palm is facing in. Draw a diagonal with that elbow towards the upper corner. Rotate your palm forward. Open up, bring it back where you came. So we're dragging along an imaginary diagonal line here. Another thing to think about. Remember how I talked to you about your wrists before? How a lot of people like to bend their wrists on those pulling straps? People really like to bend their wrists a lot on this one too. So instead of going like this, think about moving from your shoulder. You're moving from your joints, not from your wrists, if that makes sense. So I'm pulling diagonal here, and then my elbow is opening, right? My elbow is what's opening my wrist, not my wrist bone. You won't be working the right things if your body is overcompensating. This is our last one. And nicely done. Go ahead and hang up that strap, and we're gonna go into some standing. So go ahead and get a drink if you need to get a drink. If not, let's go on to one yellow, and we're gonna stand onto our reformer. So rule number one, whenever you're getting onto the reformer in a standing position, stand on the platform first. Never, ever, 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 ever stand on the carriage first, because this carriage is just gonna fly out from under you, and there's a chance that you could get hurt if you do that. So platform first. If you want, stand with both feet on the platform first, then bring yourself one foot onto the carriage, okay? We're on a light weight here because we're gonna work those adductors, those inner thighs. So hands are starting down in front of us. We bring ourselves out and back in. You'll notice if you're on a really light spring, go slowly, because you'll start to feel that pull in those inner thighs and in that groin area. As you bring yourself back in, imagine you're being pulled from a string at the top of your head to bring yourself nice and tall, okay? So we press out and we lift up, 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 up. Sorry if you hear my squeaky reformer. It's that janky wheel that I have to replace this weekend. It's really giving me grief. Okay, go out and up, 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 up. Use those inner thighs to pull yourself back in. Beautifully done. We have one more here. Awesome job. Take that foot that's on the reformer, step it off, kneel down, change your spring to one blue, take off the yellow. So now you're on one blue, okay? Standing nice and tall once again. This time, we're going to, load ourselves into that standing foot that's on the platform. So all of my weight is in the leg that's on the platform, in that heel, okay? I'm at a slight hinge. I know it's hard to see, you can't really see from the side, but I'll show you. This is kind of how I'm looking, I'm gonna be looking from the side. So I'm hinged at my hips, I'm not round, I'm hinged here, okay? So we're in the middle of our reformer. I'm nice and hinged. This leg is staying completely still. I'm pressing out and back in. Your hands can go on your hips or you can go in front of you. All that weight is in that heel. We're working those abductors now, those outside muscles. So you'll see that my body has not moved, right? The only thing moving is my leg. Your standing leg should be absolutely dying right now. We've got 3, 2, 1, and stand. Beautifully done. We can step ourselves off the reformer, go around to the other side. We're going to start this one how we ended the last one, just because we're already on these springs. So now we're on that opposite leg. You're standing, loading into that leg that's on the platform, right? Your knee is bent, you're slightly hinged at your hips, but you have a nice straight line from your head to your torso, to your tailbone. All that weight's in that heel. I press out and in, and out and in. Bring that carriage all the way in and as far out as you can get it without compromising your standing leg form. Your belly is in to keep you nice and balanced. Your shoulders are down and relaxed. Your collarbone's nice and open. You have a beautiful necklace on that we're trying to show off, right? 3, 2, 1, and stand. Take that foot on the reformer, step it off, switch your springs to one yellow, going back to those adductors, stand ourselves back up nice and tall. Bring yourself out slowly, remember, go slow. And bring it back up. I always want to remind you to move slowly when you're first starting the inner thigh standing work, because if you go out too far, too fast, it'd be really easy to pull something in that groin area. So we always want to move with intention in Pilates, right? Up and back out. Don't slam your carriage like I did. We'll do 2 more here. Last one. And beautifully done. Step yourself off. We'll place our bar up. Put on 1 or 2 blues. We're just gonna do a quick stretch and then we're done. So bring your inner thigh or your inner shin up against the shoulder blocks. Your other leg is parallel with the front of the carriage. Your outside hand is on the bar. Your inside hand is palm up. We press out, reach up and over, keeping our back hip down. Rotate towards the springs, back towards the front, and bring it on in. Inside hand goes on that shoulder block closest to it, counter stretch. And repeat. We bring it up and over, we rotate, back towards the front, bring it on up, and counter stretch. Oh my gosh, I'm cramping. And counter stretch. Oh, I'm cramping, hang on. Okay, turn around the other direction. So same thing here. Your inner shin is up against the shoulder blocks. Your other leg is parallel with the front of the carriage. Your outside hand is on the bar. Your inside hand is palm up. We reach up and over, keeping that opposite hip down. Rotate towards the springs. Back towards the front. And in. Counter stretch. Repeat 1 more time. And up, and counter stretch. And you are done. Thank you so much for doing this workout with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like, a comment. If you want to follow along for more videos that are coming, Reformer and Matt, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I cannot wait to see you next time. Let me know what you thought. Bye.